have christened a new rap god. Rapper Tom MacDonald is out with a new song featuring a prolific rap artist, the Daily Wire's Ben Shapiro. The internet is going wild over this song, Facts, which racked up over 6 million views in just 2 days on YouTube and hit #1 on iTunes, earning the praise of the self-proclaimed queen of rap, Nicki Minaj. Nicki wrote on X that Ben Shapiro put out a diss record. He said his comment sections are filled with woke Karens. The song is #1 on US iTunes. What is really happening, and who's that other man rapping? Is this real life? He said, Nicki, take some notes. She later added, I just listened to it. Ben Shapiro, not bad. Congrats on #1, but it definitely sounds like Roman's Revenge when the beat first came in. I don't know.
Nicki Minaj has landed herself in some hot water over an ongoing feud with fellow rapper Megan Thee Stallion, real name Megan Pete. The duo have been feuding for the past several weeks over revelations that Nicki Minaj's husband is a registered sex offender. Minaj and Pete have traded diss tracks and barbs, which seemingly came to a head after Minaj seemed to attack Pete's dead mother in her new song, Bigfoot, which was a diss track in response to a lyric on Megan Thee Stallion's song. Now, Minaj's own fans took to the internet and seemed to dox the cemetery where Megan Thee Stallion's mother is buried and encouraged others to go and desecrate the tomb. As of now, no damage to the grave has been reported.
Yikes.
So there are layers of beef here.
I don't know anything about this feud.
So I just Googled it just to get the Megan Thee Stallion stuff out of the way. So there's a line in one of Megan's songs where she says, you're not really mad at me, you're mad at Megan's Law. And Megan's Law is a law intended to protect child victims of sexual abuse. And both Nicki Minaj's brother has been convicted and is serving, I think, a life or close to life, like many decades long jail time for abusing, I believe, an 11-year-old. And her husband got in trouble for not registering as a sex offender in wherever they live because of events in his own past. So Nicki Minaj has these two close people to her who she's got a lot of flack from her own audience over because she doesn't seem to. Not only does she not kind of distance herself rhetorically from what they have done in the past, but seems to go out of their way to defend them in a way that doesn't really gel with her audience, which is, has always been, diverse and I think welcoming and LGBT and all of those kinds of things. So that's one part of it. Apparently in response now to Megan Thee Stallion including that line, which is a pretty good double entendre, the Megan's Law line, now there are these calls to go and desecrate.
And Megan Thee Stallion is the WAP song, which Ben Shapiro criticized, and that became a big thing. So there's that layer to it, if I'm following this.
And one other thing to
the audience can tell my investment in knowledge is very high here.
So the Nicki Minaj diss track in response to Megan is called Bigfoot, and it's called that because Megan Thee Stallion was famously shot in the foot. And that seems to some to be also in poor taste to want to be making fun of a woman who got shot in a kind of a domestic abuse situation.
Megan Thee Stallion's the one who got shot.
Megan Thee Stallion got shot.
Yeah, that's horrible. I know, we talked about that before.
So, Nicki Minaj, who's the one that's doing the diss track associated with the side that's desecrating graves and shooting people in the foot and being associated with child sex predators, is also giving big ups to Ben Shapiro for collaborating with this rapper Tom MacDonald, who I was not previously familiar with, on this track. Let's just get into some of the lyrics, shall we?
Okay. Must we?
I mean, that's the point, right?
Go for it.
So Ben Shapiro's verse, which is the second verse of the song, goes. I mean, you heard. You got to really hear it to understand the flow.
Let me give my overall impression.
Okay, go for it.
I think this had some merit in the same way. It reminded me of why am I blanking on it? Weird Al.
Sure.
It sounded like white and nerdy to me, is frankly what the song sounded like.
I think that's a real compliment to the rappers and does a disservice to Weird Al Yankovic.
Okay, I thought it was clever, but not like a good song I'm going to listen to or something. I mean, this isn't the kind of
music
I like anyway.
But Weird Al songs are good. People do listen to them because they're good.
I think it has merit in terms of the parody. Anyway, go ahead. Read me some lyrics.
Ben Shapiro says, let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Lizzo, who he's also beefed with for reasons. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wop. Dog, it's a yarmulke. Homie, no cap. Near rhyme, I guess. Is that enjambment?
Oh, it's a slant rhyme.
Slant rhyme.
Slant rhyme is what we call it.
Okay, so of course he feuded with, as you mentioned, Megan Thee Stallion and
over WAP.
What's her face? Sorry, Cardi B.
Don't come to me.
Cardi B over their song WAP. He found it to be offensive, inappropriate for radio
Cardi
play.
B is the other one on that song. See, if you had told me that was Nicki Minaj, I would not have argued with you. I don't know.
And so it's really odd for someone who professionally does what Ben Shapiro does to have cultivated all of these rap feuds with so many people. We've got Lizzo, we've got Megan Thee Stallion, we've got Cardi B. Somehow he's beefing with all of them and bringing up these beefs in this song. He goes on to say, look at the graphs, look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You're going to prison. I'm on television. Dogs. To be clear, every time I say dog, it's spelled D-A-W-G, and you should really internalize that. Dogs, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section, all woke Karens, and I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nicki, take some notes. I just did this for fun. All my people, download this. Let's get a Billboard #1.
So I think the other guy was talented, though.
Do you?
Yeah.
Which of the other fellas' lyrics
I don't know.
resonated the most with you?
It was, I don't know, it was kind of funny.
I'm just curious. Of course it's okay. It's a free country. I just wanted to
Well,
know
I just
which
listened to it
parts
for the first time
resonated
about
with you.
30 seconds ago, so.
Yeah, look, I think so. So in response to Nicki kind of like validating Ben Shapiro's effort, again, a lot of her fans were frustrated because they said Ben Shapiro is someone who has said that rap is a useless art, that it takes no talent, that it's not art at all. He is obviously...
And now he's the #1 rap artist in the country by some.
Yes, that's
objective metrics.
A totally real thing. And that there's no reason for her to go out of her way to give plaudits to someone who, one, did an embarrassingly poor job at rapping, but also who has embodied values that are so distant from what she and her audience actually cares about. And it does kind of give the feel of I'm a counterculture person, so I'm not afraid of my associations, and I'm not afraid of saying something nice to someone who other people hate. This shows how edgy I am. But that can be a move people make. But this feels like it's a little bit made out of ignorance of maybe the entirety of who Ben Shapiro is and what he stood for, because he's literally attacked Megan Thee Stallion. In the rap, he says that she needs to take notes. That Nicki Minaj rather needs to take notes, and that's what her follow-up to was about. Where it's clear that she read a little bit more and was like, "Oh, you're saying that I need to take notes? Nah." So I don't know. It's just so silly.
The last thing I'll say is you're not going to agree with this at all, which is fine. But art that is specifically made by conservatives to be conservative has a long history, and conservatives will be the first to admit this, of being just terrible, just very bad. Entertainment, art, film, etc., with a heavy-handed, with a deliberate. Obviously, there is compelling art with conservative political themes in it, somewhat inadvertently sometimes. But if it's done deliberately, it often ends up being bad. The Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, Jeremy Boring are trying to prove that need not be the case, and that they can make compelling art with a political message, or just with a not specifically liberal message. Sometimes the new Snow White thing they're doing. So I don't know if this is going to be, if people will consider this a step in the right direction. But obviously it's racking up a lot of views, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. More Rising right after this.